fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you the finish of two of my latest kits. I'm just going to jump right in and show you the first one, and it is my Daffy Duck by Diamond Art Club. This guy only has 9 colors. It did have one AB, and I actually was not sure when I got it if it was going to work out, because the AB, as you can see here, is his beak. And I thought, oh, I don't know if that's going to be too much, especially given that all of the other colors were kind of dark. And I think it actually turned out really well. I'm really happy with how it looks. So again, not very many colors. I didn't add any ABs, but I did jazz up the background a little bit by adding in just some rhinestones sprinkled in here and there, not too many. I didn't want to add any black ABs because I think that looks a little bit weird. And since his entire beak was ABs, I felt like adding ABs anywhere else was gonna also look off. So I just left everything else the way that it was, other than those little ones that I sprinkled in. And I love how he turned out. I actually hadn't intended to do this particular kit. I bought this one when I bought the other one, and I just was looking for, oh, you know, maybe I'll give this away, or maybe I'll just hang on to it until I feel like doing it. But they're small enough. These are only 33 by 38 centimeters, I think, so 13 by 15 inches. So they were small enough, I decided that I was going to do both of them. And I started with the Daffy because I thought, well, this will motivate me to get through this one and get it finished. These were going to be quick ones that I could add to my finishes and also add to my diamond painting hours for my goals for this year. Yeah, so just extra motivation for me to get it done. And, you know, like I said, not very many colors. You've got the white here. Of course, he himself is black. There's some gray outlining, and then you've got the big purple background with some darker purple for shading. And then you've got, of course, his beak with the outline color, and then you've got a little bit of red and some kind of salmon colored here for his tongue. But I just think he turned out really well. It was quick. It's a round, so even though it's a lot of color blocking, which I'm normally not a fan of, so that's one of the other reasons I wasn't sure that I would like these. I think these cartoon styles with the line art lend themselves really well to looking good as diamond paintings, but you end up with these big stacks of color blocking, which are not always my favorite. But I gotta say, I'm really happy with how he turned out, and I had a lot more fun doing it than I would have anticipated. I'll throw some pictures up there so you can kind of see the close-up of him. Again, don't mind my drill placement. It is not perfect. It never is. That's just, yeah, that's just a fact of life for me. I'm okay with it. Once you step back from it, you know, unless you've got it right up to your face, you're not going to see it anyway. I just like to do these so that I can show people that if you're obsessing over your placement, please don't. Just as long as you're enjoying it, it will all look good when you get done, I promise. That's it for Daffy Duck. Then I get to show you, oh, and I used this cute little washi tape. I don't know if this was a Diamond Art Club washi tape, if that's where I got it, but it was nice and purple, so I used that. I so very rarely get the opportunity to match my washi tape just because I don't collect washi tape a lot. I tend to buy just like big grab bags of it, and so if I happen to have one that matches, it's always a happy coincidence rather than my planning. But there's Daffy. And let me move him off to the side, and I'll show you my second finish. And my second finish is, ta-da, Marvin. Look how cool he looks. Also, washi tape. Again, just happened to have some yellow on hand that I thought would look cool, so excited about that. Now, interestingly, Marvin had more colors than Daffy. He's got 11 colors, and he just had one AB. Now, I did try to actually add in an AB. I originally had pulled out an AB for this dark green that is the outline of his helmet and his little skirt here. But when I put it on, it looked more blue than green, and I just didn't like the way it looked. So I actually ended up going back and pulling off. I was about halfway done before I decided I didn't like it. So I went back and pulled it all off and replaced it with the green that came with the kit. The AB here you can see is the shadow, and then the little, you know, broom piece on his helmet. And then of course you've got all this huge color blocking, the white of his hands and his eyes, the black of his face, the red on his shirt, and then the green of his helmet and skirt, and the yellow background. I kind of wish they would have done a picture with him and K9, but it's all good. K9 is his little dog that's always with him, in case you didn't know. I've mentioned before in my Whip-In Chats, I've been a collector of Marvin for a long, long time. He's one of my favorite Looney Tunes, if not the favorite. And as soon as I saw this one, I knew I had to have it. I had always told myself if they ever did Marvin or the Jetsons, I would buy it, and they did Marvin. So crossing my fingers, maybe we'll get to the Jetsons at some point. I would love to do like a Jetsons with all of the characters like they did with like the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo. Don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see. If it does, I'm there. So again, this one is a smaller one, 13 by 15 inches, 33 by 38 centimeters, and round. Lots of color blocking, as you can see, with some confetti thrown in. You know, here in his hand really basically was it. A little bit up here for the little top of his helmet, but I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I think I did a little better with my placing on this one. I'm not sure why. If I was just getting into a groove, because I did this one after I did the Daffy. I don't know if I was just in a better groove or if I was somehow paying more attention. I don't know. My wavy lines of drill placement are less, but I wouldn't say that I did less multi-placing on this one. So I can see right here where some of mine are out of alignment. Anyway, so I will throw up on the screen there kind of an overview so you can get a close-up of what some of the drill placement looks like. I'm not sure if I like the ABs up here. Maybe that would have been just better to be, you know, kind of that orangey brown color of it anyway, rather than being an AB. I don't know if sometimes they add ABs because they think people just expect them these days. You know, you've got to have at least one in a kit or people don't want it. I would have been okay if there had been no ABs in it. It looks okay, but I think, again, even for the shadows, maybe just a regular orange would have been, or a darker yellow would have been okay. But either way, I think he turned out really well. I just love his little face and just really happy with how it turned out. Again, my placement is not perfect, but I think I did a better job on him than I did on Daffy, and I'm definitely going to be framing Marvin. And I don't know if he'll get hung up before we move, but I definitely am going to find a frame for him. Maybe I'll just go look for a bunch of frames for some of my old paintings as well. We are going to be having some kind of a yard sale before we move, so maybe I will find frames for a bunch of that stuff and make a little money off of some of my hard work for all my old diamond paintings. But Marvin is definitely going to go with me. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get him hung up before we go. We've got painting and lots of other things to do, so I don't know if I'm actually going to get him hung up. But I definitely want to get a frame for him, and he's definitely going to go with us. I've got a very similar painting that it's a poster that my brother got me. I'll try to stick a picture over there if I can get one. It's a little bit, it's kind of flip-flopped. It's kind of funny actually now that I'm looking at it. It actually hangs up here in my film room. I've got a picture of Marvin, a poster of Marvin on the wall, and then I've got a candle with Marvin on it. One of those, okay, I'm going to date myself here, you guys. You remember those, you could go to like the malls and get like those carved wax candles where they made like the curlicues and stuff and all that, you know, and it was like all different colors of wax on the inside. I have a candle like that that has Marvin on it that someone gave me eons ago that I still have. And I've got like little Marvin keychains, and I think that's most of the Marvin stuff. I think I've gotten rid of most of it. I still have my jacket though. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. I just wanted to show you the completion of both Marvin and Daffy. I think they both turned out great. I'm really happy with both of them. Like I said, I don't know. Definitely going to frame Marvin and hang him up. Not sure what I'm going to do with Daffy yet. We'll see. He may just go to a good home. I'll see if my nephew or somebody wants him, but love how both of these turned out. Super happy that I decided to get both of them, and now I have two finishes that I can add along with all of those diamond painting hours. Oh, speaking of, they both took me roughly, well, I think Daffy actually took longer. I think Daffy took like 9 hours, which is kind of funny because I think Marvin took less than 8. So I'm not quite sure why this one took longer. They're both the same size, and this one actually has more colors. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. Or maybe I was just more excited to work on Marvin because I love him. Who knows? Either way, I will, as always, stick links down below in the description so that you can go check both of these out. Like I said, I had a lot of fun doing them, and I'm sure you would too. There are also some other Looney Tunes characters out there, so if you want to check those out as well. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.